So I'm always wearing a cap practically every day, so I figured just, I can do it again, make a video. I wasn't planning on making a video, I feel like I say that a lot. But I made 4 months on 2 days ago, and I wanted to do something about it, but I didn't. And then since I have free time now, I figured why not just do something. There is a baby microphone attached to my shirt with a binder clip. I am fully aware of that. It's because my iPad microphone isn't the greatest, and so I got this thing, and it kind of distorts my voice and makes it sound a little higher than what it actually is. I've tested it on my iPhone, and my iPhone feels like it's truer to what my voice actually sounds like, which is a lot deeper. I don't know if it's gotten any deeper. I know that I scared my mom the other day because she didn't know who was talking to her, because she wasn't looking at me, so she didn't know who was talking to her. So that was that. I get SIR'd most of the time. In fact, I pass 90% of the 85% of the time now, which is awesome, and it's an awesome feeling, especially because I don't live that way at home. I live two separate lives, and to be able to pass on the days that in the moments that I'm not at home and that I'm trying to be my authentic self feels like an incredible feeling. My facial hair has been growing quite rapidly, actually. I shaved, and the day afterwards I already started seeing a little bit of stubble. It's not obvious here, but I can tell you, if you look closely enough, you can already see it's starting to grow back. I shaved because I thought I was going to go to a wedding. I didn't actually end up going to it because I own no women's clothing, and finding clothing was ridiculously impossible because I wasn't going to shave for some wedding that I didn't really care for. To shave and then, to be I wouldn't feel comfortable with that, and then wearing a dress was way too dysphoric for me, and I was willing to try it, but the moment that I tried on one, it was way too dysphoric for me, and it was just not a good time. Point is, I shaved for the wedding because I didn't want anybody questioning me, because it was starting to become obvious, all the facial hair started becoming a little more obvious. So I shaved, and then I was really sad because I missed it, and then the next day I was oh, it's already growing back, so I guess it's gonna be here pretty quickly. So that's a great thing, because that means I'm gonna be hairy. I'm on the smallest dosage that I can be on, and I get it every 2 weeks. So if I were to be on a higher dosage, I feel like things would move a little quicker, and the changes would come a little my hair would grow faster than what it does. But because I can't, it's too risky for me. At least with this, I can monitor what my changes, and I can monitor what is going on with them. And so that's where I'm at. I'm still on T, clearly. I don't know if I said that last time I made a video, that I decided that I'm going to stay on it, but I think, nobody's noticed anything. My voice was the biggest thing, and maybe facial hair, if it was going to start growing quicker, and if somebody would notice anything. But so far I've handled those things pretty fine. And oftentimes I feel because my parents have a perception of me, they're going to want to keep that perception of me. So even if they do see some changes, it's not, it doesn't really affect the way that they want to see me. They've already accepted that I basically don't wear women's clothing, but I don't think they understand the reason why. They just know that I just don't, and I don't wear dresses, and I just don't, and there's no other explanation other than I just don't. I don't do makeup anymore, and they've come to accept that, which I'm noticing, because the way that they talk about it is not as, at least my mom is not sad as it used to be, but it's still I'm pretty sure she still wishes that I would at least participate in some women's things, but it's just not I wish I could explain these things to them, but I can't. I don't know if I've ever mentioned on my channel why the reasons why I don't come out to them, but I can make a separate video about that, because I think people are often interested in my double life and what that's like and how I even do it. So that's its own topic. Um, I can't think of any more other changes. I don't think my period didn't come last month, so I'm hoping it's just gone and I don't have to deal with it. Because if it's not gone in a couple of months, I'm gonna do something about it because I don't want to deal with it. I've decided that having my own biological children might be a little too expensive. And I know it's all the way down the line, and it's like, why even think about that now? But, like, there's children in the world that don't have parents, and it's just easier to adopt. And I realize that I'm like a child. I'm like a baby adult. I'm a young adult, and I'm not even seeing anybody for me to think about my future like that. But I feel like those are things that I have to consider when it comes to like dealing with hormones and dealing with my body, trying to figure out what I want to do with all of that. And I guess the very last thing I could say was that there was like the most recent trouble that I had was at a doctor's office that they would refuse to call me by my chosen name until I finally got through to them, and then like now they call me, and like when they called me by Daniel, and it was nice, and it's nice to be affirmed. And and then that same day that I was not, it was a specialist, so it wasn't like my regular doctor. My regular doctor is like, it's not a problem, they call me whatever, and they treat me with so much respect. But seeing this like new specialist was a different experience. And I was getting an allergy test, and I didn't look I looked pretty neutral that day. I didn't look particularly like anything because I was sick and I didn't really care. But somebody had misgendered me and then quickly like corrected themselves, and it was like really nice to see that, and it's really nice to see when that happens. So I don't really have to do much. I feel like, and this is something that I still saw. This video is going to go on for a while, and I'm so sorry, but every time my hair is out, that's oftentimes when I get misgendered the most, despite my voice and despite it's ridiculous. It's actually one of the most ridiculous things that I can think of. Like, I don't understand how somebody's hair gets misgendered so often. Like, it's one thing like looking behind, like seeing me behind and like seeing the back of my head. My hair is not that. I don't think it's that long, but like talking to me and then still, I'm just like, do you not hear this voice? Like, I don't understand. But that's why it's also the summer, so I'm not going to keep my hair down all the time. But that's where the hats come from, and it's one of those things. It was very like, my hair is still one of those things that caused me dysphoria, but still is a sense of pride for me because I love my hair and I don't want to get rid of it. But then at the same time, I want to get rid of it, but I can't get rid of it now anyway, so I just kind of have to deal with it. And I can't think of anything else, other than maybe like a personal physical change, like the genital area. But I refuse to talk about that because that's personal and that's really awkward for me to talk about. But yeah, so that's the biggest update is, I think, my facial hair. So, if you've watched up to here, thank you so much. Subscribe, like, or comment, and you can give it individual their wings. And if you subscribe, you can join my winged family. And who doesn't want to learn to fly? And until next video.